I finished my August assembly line junk journals, all 3 of them. Butterflies, 1, 2, 3. Stay tuned for the flip through. Hi everybody, it's Julie, and ta-da! I finished all 3 journals. 3 journals for the August assembly line junk journal challenge. If you're interested in a junk journal challenge, we do it each month here at the Dear Julie Junk Journal Everyday channel. And this month we were making 3 journals that are alike or some very similar, or 1 3 signature journal. We had elements that you had to make to fill them, and I've done all of it. They're done, and I have a flip through. So all 3 of them are available in the Etsy shop while they last, and we'll go ahead and show you this one. Okay, and so first of all, my closure is coffee dyed linen from the skirt that we are still trying to use up. The cover is wallpaper, and I don't think I have any available in the Etsy shop. I'll have to check and see, but I had wallpaper pieces available in the Etsy shop, so we will check that. We have a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and I've chosen that because I used items that were small and big, and I didn't want them to be moving around, so I used a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And the fabric is torn and stamped. That was one of the videos that we did. On the cover we have a vintage playing card on top of some cardstock that I ripped. Added one of the Tim Holtz, this came out of, I believe it was the Botanical die cuts. And we have crossword puzzle. I love to use crossword puzzles in my journals. And a bingo marker, also love to use those. So I did stitch these on, and these are glued on as well. And then the wallpaper is stitched to the inside cover, which is cardstock and this amazing paper that I found. So there are 3 of these little notebooks in the journal. We had to make 3 for each. You could make them whatever size you wanted. You just had to make each of the elements, and you had to have 3 embellishments on them. So I chose to put my embellishments on the cover, and we have the playing card. This is a paper from the Highlights magazine. Actually, I just saw that. It says Flutter right there. So they're all different, but they will have a playing card. They will have a saying from the wrapping paper. This paper here is from the Dollar Tree scrap pack that you can get, the little pack of scraps for $1. And you will see I distressed. I have a 2-hour video, I think it's almost 3 hours of distressing and other things that I did, but a lot of it was distressing. So, and then we just used a variety of papers for the inside. So like I said, there's one here in the front, and then in the back there's one made with the orange card and a different quote. Okay, so there's quotes all through the journal, and those came from some wrapping paper that I had. So here's the envelope that I made out of the origami paper, and it has a floral from the wrapping paper. This is some washi tape. We have a ticket here, and you'll see this is the first time you see the coffee dyed dryer sheet. So there's that there, and then a little bit of the words from the crossword puzzle book. You open this up, and we have a stitched playing card. It is stitched to Project Life card, so that you can go ahead and you could put your My Book Is, or something special that you want to keep in there. But I love that. So this paper is from the Rose Garden. I believe that was the name of the paper pad from Michael's from last year or the year before. It's an awesome collection of papers, and so I used the butterflies in this. I did add some of the Dollar Tree lace to the edge here, and then we turn it and we have a large tag with a playing card sewn on it. Very simple, but I like it. So this sparkly paper, this came out of that paper pack, and these were a couple things that were left over, and I don't want to have any leftovers, so I turned them into that little card there. This could also help to hold something on to something somewhere, so you could just go ahead and use it like a clipboard. Okay, so it's kind of like a paper clip, but not. So, but there, I've got it there. So this was one of the, it was tracing paper. Let me get my cheat sheet here. Okay, so this was parchment tracing or vellum pocket. So in this one, you'll see in the video, it's actually on here and it's on the other page. And I made it to hold this large index card tag. Here is some napkin. This is from the bingo markers that I was punching out, and I just stapled it on there and it made just a little pocket. This is an index folder from in my stash. This is one of the butterflies from the Dollar Tree stickers, and I just took the flutter part off, and I'll use the stickers in something else. We have some washi and some stamping, some washi, and some of that orange, not orange, but peach, like cheesecloth fabric that was in my mom's stuff. So I'm excited to be able to use that in here. And I had already ruffled that. I already had it. Here's one of my paper clips, and it's just a collaged paper clip. Watch that video. It's in the August Assembly Line Junk Journal playlist. So, and it was, yes, it was one of the elements you had to make. So this is a photo card from a photo box, and I just added washi tape to that, and it's in there. Here we have a napkin covered tag. This paper was also from the Dollar Tree paper pack. We have some of the dryer sheet here with a little stamp and some lace and some washi tape with a cancellation stamp there. Let's go ahead and we're going to add a little glue and hold that down. We'll just put it over here. So this is a large envelope, and I used it in here, and I flipped it up and made a pocket on this side. And you could go ahead and still open this and have it as a pocket. I did not do that, but you can still do that if this journal becomes yours. Even if you want to give it as a gift and you want to go ahead and go in there and do that. So we have this beautiful, I love this. This was a treat bag that I got at Dollar Tree. And you can see this is the side I cut off. I just threw them away. I didn't find anything to use them for, but I cut off this part and I pulled it over and I cut it at the fold. It was actually about like that. And so I didn't end up finding anything to do with those, so I actually did throw them away. So here's another one of the envelopes. And this one also has dryer sheet, crossword puzzle, wrapping paper, washi tape, and the ticket. So I did the same thing on all the envelopes. You'll see that I have one other style that we did, and but they're all similar, but they are different. So here we have some stamping on the lined paper, and yes, I distressed like almost every single page in this book. Here's our double tuck. This is our other envelope, And I did the embellishments on the flap. So I have my wrapping paper floral, my crossword puzzle, washi tape, and the ticket on the dryer sheet, on the flap, glued down, and it is our double tuck. So here we have our little notebook, and we have our napkin card. So lots of places to write there. Have the lace on the edge here, and I added one of the, this was my ruffled element. And even the ruffled element had to have 3 items. So I made this little charm thingy here with a jewelry label, this cute little butterfly. Let's get him on the right side. There we go. Cute little butterfly charm, a part of a ticket. There's a tab here. This could actually hold something if you wanted to hold something there, and on the ruffled fabric. And for this one, I decided to put it on the lace. I wanted it on this page because I wanted it kind of in the front, and so it's on the top. So here's another one of my tracing paper pockets, or noisy paper, and I made a guest check. And this one, I took the napkin, instead of putting it straight down, I did it at an angle, and we just added some washi tape to the back. These guest checks have lines, so I kept that one simple. Did add the butterfly image. There were 9 of them in the package of stickers, so I had one for each of the tracing paper envelopes that I made, so that worked out perfect. At first I used the sticky that was in the middle of the butterfly, but when I randomly started finding butterflies on my desk, I decided I better staple them. So they're stapled on there. There's some more of the fabric from my mom, and some butterfly washi, and the stamp washi. And again, it is distressed. The back of it is stamped. And then we have this little butterfly. This is one of our flips. There's one of the clusters. And so this flip, I used a little tiny envelope, put it here. We have a mini little note card. Okay, so you can write in there. You've got your keep this coupon. You can write on there. Those both go in there. And then here you have a little calendar, and it's flipped up with a pocket with a mini flinch card from the flinch card digital kit from Dear Julie, and that is printed at 3.5 by 5. We have some stamping on the noisy paper, an expense record ledger. I love this, and what I did with this, it's only this big, and so you're going to see when we get to the other side of the pages that I set it in so that it would have a good sized page on this side, and the other side's going to be a pocket. Here we have our little flip up tuck and corner tuck, and then we have a book page tag with some lined paper, and I added one of those Tim Holtz butterflies. Here we have a notepad, or note paper from a notepad, and it's got another one of those pages from the Dollar Tree pack. And I added some washi here, and I just put that up underneath one of our collaged altered paper clips. Love this paper. Added some stamping. Added a quilt page. I love to have some type of glossy paper in a journal if I can, because I like my journals to look pretty and for there to be surprises and to sound cool, so that, you know, we have the different kinds of paper that we use, and to feel, to have different textures. So this paper is totally different than feeling this cardstock. And then you've got this glossy paper that gives you that great visual of the quilts. So this literally is out of a quilt book. And they are plentiful out there at yard sales and at the garage or at the thrift stores if you're able to go to the thrift stores. So here's a book page pocket. And so you'll see I have 3 different book page pockets. Now in this challenge, you were able to make all of your items for each element alike. So like all 9 of your, or 8 of your paper clips, of course. Okay, so I made it so you had to make 8 of everything because it was August and 8 is my favorite number. But really it made more sense to make 9 if you're making 3 journals. Yeah, so I made 9 of each thing. But what I did is I made 3 different, to give you 3 different ideas. And but you could make them all the same. So here I have a place that has been left so that you can go ahead and add something that you have that you want to here. And then we made just a plain tag to go in this pocket. So a pull tab, see there's this, kind of looks like a pull tab. A pull tab tag is what we added there. Crossword puzzle, some calendar, the Charlie Brown strip, and a calendar, and some dryer sheet and lace on a book page. Lots of stuff on that little thing, but like I said, each thing had to have 3. So here's a little tag, and since this butterfly was in this direction, I went ahead and used this one. This one is another one of those double open tags. So there's plenty of room to journal in there. You could even add more paper in there if you were crafty and you wanted to do that. And so there's that, and this is our top tuck. So we had one of the elements was tucks and or belly bands. So I made that little corner tuck that you saw, and then I made this, and they are using the digital kit, fairies, flutters, and flowers. So this is the other piece that came off that. Okay, so and then this butterfly is from that kit also. So it has garden fairies in it, and then it has butterflies, and it has flowers. We have the ticket and the bingo marker and the lace, and they were on. This is all I have left from making this journal. I have some napkin pieces that I've already put in a journal that's coming up. And these right here, these 3 corner pieces, and these 3. That's what I had left. And some napkin pieces. I'm pretty excited. Thought that was pretty good. Oh, and then I do have some of the butterflies left that were pink and purple and stuff like that, and I've put them in for my fairy journal that's coming up when the new kit comes out. Okay, so this is on parchment paper. This is an 8.5 by 11 page. I flipped it up and made a pocket. So we have a pocket here for this card that I made with my Cricut. And we've just stapled some lace and a flinch card. There's some washi tape and washi tape. And you can see some distressing. It's stressful. Distress. So then I made, I made these while I was watching a premiere with the stuff that was left over on my desk. I was just trying to make up things. And so this is part of that treat bag. This is from those bingo markers. This is some Edith Holden paper and one of the butterflies from the Flutter kit and a ticket. And what I did is I stapled it on, and this is one of the pieces of the napkin because I didn't pick any fabric for this journal. And then there was a napkin sitting right here, so I just cut that, so that is my napkin flip. And I love it because I use this in other places in the journal. So this paper is really different. On this side, it has a matte feel, and this side is a real glossy feel, and those were from my dad's stuff. And so I'm excited to be able to put that in there, and they have great texture. So this has like a parchment texture, and it was from a journal that I had, and it had words. And so I've cut off the words, and I'll use them for something else. They're sitting right here for now. So here's our little book pocket. And if you watch this video, I folded these in a variety of ways to give us different pockets. So I did add a tag to this one. It has the cluster. In the cluster video, I showed you some ideas of how to use your clusters. And so this was my tag. Now you couldn't use your cluster as your embellishment on another element this time. Sometimes I let you do that, but this time it was, the last journal that we made, people didn't have enough embellishments. So I was like, okay, so we're going to go back, and I'm looking for the place that's going to be the right, and I think we found it. I didn't think I was going to be able to put all the notebooks in here, and I was able to put all the notebooks in this journal. So anyway, so back to the little pocket. So again, it's the little pocket. It's got the little piece of a calendar, some lace, the washi tape, the dryer sheet, and the Charlie Brown. I still have some of that. But I mean, that's pretty generic. I'll probably be able to use that. So for these journals, I was trying to use up items, things that I had 3 of. So if I had 3 of it, it went in the pile to be used in this journal. And then, of course, if I had 3 of these pages of this cardstock, and that's just how I figured out what to use in here. So here we have some more of that paper stack paper, and it's just got napkin on it, and one of the little orange tickets because it looks good in there, and I like it with the numbers sticking up. So this is the center of our signature, and it is a little flip, okay? And I went ahead, put another piece of that cardstock from the paper pack from Dollar Tree. All of this from one paper pack, and I still have paper. So here's my signature tie. This is one of the little charms that we made using the bingo marker. So I have the bingo marker there, the punched out bingo marker, and there's a video on how I made these. I think you could fill these with glossy accents too, and I think they would be really cool. So I've been doing I've got 2020 table scatter or confetti sequins, whatever. So I've been putting that in, so that's there. And then we have a yellow, or I keep saying yellow. It's an orange butterfly. On this one, I just went ahead and did a flip up with some note paper, just so it wasn't plain. Added another one of the Tim Holtz butterflies, a stamp, and some lace here. So this was one of our flips. You had to have flips in here. So that was one. Then this was one. Okay, so that was a flip. And then you'll see we have another one. So you'll see there's some flowers on this paper, but I did go ahead and stamp a butterfly and some other things too. Got another lace edge. We have lined paper. I like to put a couple pages of lined paper together so that if you have a longer story to tell, you have a place to put that. This is from our mini challenge in the challenge number 2. You still have time to do that. But you can find the video that's, it's just, I think it was Monday's video. And then we had to make 3 of them. So I made large tags. You were able to make whatever you wanted, what you thought your journal was lacking. And the thing about a mini challenge in the challenge, you do need to be a member of the big challenge group for the month to get recognized for it, but you don't have to make the big journal for it to count. And it can be made for any project that you have. You just have to use the guidelines that I give you, and they're different all the time. So this pocket, I just added some of the dryer sheet and some washi tape, and I stapled it on. And so there you go. There's another place with a cluster, and you could go ahead and stick something under there. So there you go. There's our other quilt page. And another one of those. This is our other flip. And here we go. We have, oh, there's the pocket I was telling you about, and it just has a note paper from the Flutters and Fairies digital kit. Noisy paper. The other side of the butterfly cardstock, and I stamped it. Then here's another, this is the other side of the tracing paper pocket, and we added one of our tags to it. And this is a coffee dyed tag with napkin, and then all of the elements that I used. And on these tags, or on these pockets, you just open it up, stick it in there, and I thought it was fun because you can see through them. That's why I made this element. I wanted people to not just see them, but to try them and see that they are really fun to do. So here is our belly band, and on the belly band, remember it's like the tux, but this one I did a flip up on the belly band, and it just goes underneath the little dot there. And I tried a lot of different things in the pocket, and I ended up, I just like this really plain card. So there's that. Then this is the other side of the double tuck, is an envelope. This was our mini challenge in the challenge number 1 for August, and it had a variety of items. Again, you had to make and what you had to use. So there's my pocket made out of the punched out markers. There's a journal card. I stamped on it with some planner stamp. Got note papers, and so there. So I thought it kind of looked like, it reminded me of a specimen card. So here we have our third paper clip, and it's just holding one of the notes from the Fairy Flutter kit. And here's the other notebook. Okay, so the third notebook is in this envelope, and it goes through so that you can see it right there, and I liked that. And then I wanted to, originally I had the paper clip on this side, but I was like, well, you know, that's got a lot of stuff going on, so I switched it to that side. So we have some stamping there, and here is our small pocket tracing paper. And it has a plain card with ledger on the back. And there we go. And so this was, I made this pocket, I made a tube and then made a pocket. So if you want to see how to do that, that is the tracing paper pocket in the August Assembly Line Junk Journal Challenge. Or challenge playlist, yeah. There's the little butterfly, Mom's material, and the washi. And I went ahead and glued this on the treat bag. The other thing is I had put double-sided tape on this that had backing to it. So when it was time to find out where it goes, it was already ready to be stuck. I really like that idea. So here, this one just has a plain tag. I tried things on this lip of it, and I didn't like it. So, but I did go ahead and decorate the back of the tag with some washi. And here is the other side of the long envelope. And this time I decided it should, instead of turning it into a double tuck and putting 2, I just made it so that it would hold this large tag. And then, and it could hold, you know, papers or whatever. If you had something else you wanted to put in there, you could go ahead and put other things in it as well. Here's our third edge, and it has the butterfly and the ticket, and it has the little charm that we made with the bingo markers and the wrapping paper butterfly on the fabric. So this is the one, it was on the quilt page, and it just has a bulb pin. It has the little orange butterfly charm and a little pearl and the little bingo, and it's just held on there with a bulb pin. So this time, this one is a bold pen, and it's got the charm that I made and this charm that I made just using the little orange or rusty colored butterfly. So this is the parchment paper. Here on this side, we have another pocket that you can put something in. We have another large tag, and this was, I printed the flinch cards, and then somehow, I went to print the flinch card, and this paper was in the printer that had the footers, flowers, and fairies. It had the wallet pictures, and so I went ahead and used it, and I used it on the tags or journaling cards that I made for this. Here's the back page, and so we have the pocket, and I stamped randomly in the back, added some lace, and here's our very back. It has the medium size one of these pockets, and you can go ahead and put something behind there. And in the top pocket, we have this cute little journal card that has the orange sequin, butterfly sequin, and we have this little card that has the bingo marker. And again, we have one of the tickets, because I love the numbers, and I think they're cool and look really cool in these journals. So that is the journal. It is available in the Dear Julie Julie Etsy shop. There are 3 of them because I made 3, and they're fraternal triplets. Okay, so they do have things like when I used a butterfly, they might be different. When I use these, they're different. But a lot of it is exactly the same, but some of it's a little bit different. But they do all have the same amount of pages, same amount of inserts, and the things that I made to go inside. So which part is your favorite? I would love to know, and I want to thank you for watching. I will put the August Assembly Line Junk Journal Challenge playlist as well in the description box down below. The video with the details for the challenge will be in the description box down below. There's still time. We've had people make their journal in 2 and 3 days and 1 day for the challenge. And why would you want to do the challenge? Well, there's a party and there's prizes. If you finish your journal, just for finishing your journal, you get prizes, and it's lots of fun. So September 1st, we start a new one. It's a surprise. You won't know what it is until September 1st at 10:30 at our premiere on September 1st. I added the assembly line playlist right up here, and I added the tracing paper pockets so that you can see how I made the pockets out of a tube. I made the paper into a tube and made a pocket, and I'll put that video right over there. Have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. Bye. Bye-bye.